Okay, so today I'll be talking about if nuclear weapons should be allowed in the Middle East. I'll be responding to King David 3000's post in debate.org. You can find the link in the description below. Are nuclear weapons the answer to all socio-economic problems? I don't think so. I say that Middle Eastern countries should not be allowed to have nuclear weapons due to that they pose a threat to society by having active terrorist groups and unstable governments. Would you feel safe by having countries that have terrorist groups such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda that could at any time plan an attack against the government and somehow manage to get their hands on nuclear weapons? I can say for myself that I wouldn't feel safe at all, knowing that my country could be bombed by a terrorist group just so they can prove a point to the world. For example, look at Cuba. Cuba's government was overrun by terrorists, and it was years after they could settle another government. The idea of letting Middle Eastern countries have nuclear weapons is outrageous. Iran has been debating with the United States and other countries to see if they can eliminate the Non-Proliferation Treaty and therefore be allowed to have nuclear weapons. The idea of letting them have nuclear weapons is a global threat due to that they have an unstable government and a political conflict with Israel. During a nuclear weapons conference in 2009, Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad stated that Israel should be wiped off the face of the earth, and if he could so, he would use Iran's nuclear weapons to do it.
Taking aim once again at Israel and the United States, Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad repeated inflammatory comments that he made 3 years ago, saying Israel would soon disappear. Ahmadinejad first made the remarks in 2005, fueling international outrage and speculation that he was threatening the Jewish state with a nuclear weapon.
What do you think will happen if Middle Eastern countries are allowed to have nuclear weapons? I think that Israel would fire off nuclear weapons into Iran, or Iran into Israel, out of fear of being attacked by each other. A war like this would not only include these two states, but also the United States and other countries such as France or England. By allowing Middle Eastern countries to have nuclear weapons, you're making the world look something like this. It will be becoming a time bomb, due to at a certain point there will be a war, and they will look at nuclear weapons as an opportunity to win it. But all they will be doing is nothing more than destroying the world as we know it. Due to that if one fires a nuclear missile, the other country will have no other option but to fire back. By allowing Middle Eastern countries to have nuclear weapons, you're putting in the last drop of water in causing a nuclear war. I state that nuclear weapons should only be allowed to be held by world-leading countries such as Russia and the United States. I believe that someone has to keep the world in control, and nuclear weapons are a method of doing this. Nuclear weapons do not need to be used in order to keep the world in control, but by having them you can control other countries due to your military advantage. Countries would be scared of starting a war due to the fact that they would be scared of the aftermath of a nuclear detonation. I believe that these states should be allowed to have nuclear weapons due to their economical and political stability, unlike Iran, Syria, etc.